Well, I'm going to look at the total, which is currently 149. The Auburn Tigers have scored 80 plus points in 9 of their last 10 games. Auburn's also played 3-0 to the over in their last three with a combined 168.7 points scored per contest. The Tigers in their last five averaging 88.6 points per game, shooting 48%, 37% from beyond the three-point line, and 77% from the free throw line. In those 5 games, had a combined 57 free throw attempts. If Auburn does have a weakness, Prez, it's defensively, as they play very aggressively and they send teams to the free throw line numerous times. They've allowed 28 free throw attempts per game over those last five. They've also had 29 free throw attempts over those last five. Texas A&M, 3-0 to the over in their last three, despite the fact they shot less than 40% in all three of those games. In those contests, they averaged 158.3 points per game. A&M's three-point defense in their last five, they're allowing opponents to shoot 40.8% from long distance, and they're allowing 11 makes per game. And that spells trouble against a team like Auburn who could shoot the three. And their last 5 games, in terms of A&M, I mentioned free throw attempts regarding Auburn. Well, the last 5 games for A&M, there's been a combined 46 free throw attempts. And like I've said time and time again on our show, that when you're looking at college basketball totals, you have to pay attention to free throw attempts and free throw percentage. Look for a physical game, a parade to the free throw line here, Prez. A&M season resume shows they're not a good they're a good defensive team, not very good offensively, but they're going to be hard-pressed to keep this dynamic Auburn team under 80 points tonight. I'm going to go with Auburn and A&M over the total of 149.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Ross Benjamin joining us, one of the best handicappers alive, and a really good guy with a great sense of humor. Ross, let's turn our attention to BYU. Now, this team has won 6 straight games, and handily, mind you. The Arizona game was the only one close. They won by 1. Otherwise, they are blowing out their competition, and here they are at plus 9.5 against an Iowa State team that, although is 9 in the country, are reeling a bit. Sure, they beat Arizona, but they did lose to Oak State. They lost to Houston, which is no shame in that. But this Iowa State team, minus 9.5, and they are, they're not some kind of ATS juggernaut by any stretch. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the side, Prez. Iowa State did have that rough stretch, as you just alluded to, but they were playing without their number 2 and number 3 top scorers in a couple of those games. So I'm going to give them a pass in that regard. This is one I went in, and everything you just said is everything I was thinking when I looked at this line, and I said, how could BYU be such a large underdog? Well, and then you look at the fact that BYU is getting a lot of action here, and they went from an opening number to the current number, which is raised another point to 9.5. So I'm staying away from the side. Auburn is this is a BYU team, over their last 5 games, averaging 87 points per game. They're number 2 in offensive efficiency during Big 12 play. They're number 2 in three-point shooting during Big 12 play at 37.8%. And even more noteworthy when it comes to their three-point shooting, 47.8% of their field goal attempts are threes. And to hit those shots at such a high rate, it takes on extra meaning. Again, something you should look at. Some teams are hitting 40% or more from three over a 5-game period, yet 25 or 30% of their shots are threes. This is the polar opposite. The Cougars aren't a very good defensive team by any stretch of the imagination. Iowa State has been scoring 79 points or more in each of their last 4 at home. I'm going to go with this game to go over the total of 150, Press.
Ross Benjamin joining us. Ross, it is $5 Tuesday. Every Tuesday we have Customer Appreciation Day. Each handicapper takes their best play. They sell it for $5. It is a very, very successful promotion. Many people take advantage of that. And it's really a great way to see that what guys do. I mean, Ross writes analysis with his picks, so you guys can go buy Ross's $5 play and get his analysis. Ross, what do you have going with the clients tonight?
Yeah, I got an NBA 4-star or 4%, excuse me, top play. And my NBA Prez has been on fire since last March. I'm 36-21 with my last 57 in the NBA. That's 63%. Going back to March 26th of 2024, 167, 60% with my NBA premium plays, a net profit of $7,190 during that course of time. And that's number one in money earned and number one in win percentage at WagerTalk. Again, through that course of time. I want to be specific in that regard. So NBA 4%. Top play right now, $5 at WagerTalk. You can't beat that with a stick. And I just gave you every reason why you should invest that small amount with me tonight. Invest that small amount to make a large amount. March Madness is also upon us. 22-14 last year during the NCAA tournament, 61%, net profit of $2,800. And I mentioned those 4%. That 4% top play for $5 in the NBA tonight, 27-16, 63% with my last 43 4% top plays. So a lot to like about that $5 pick tonight, Press.